used to tell me all the time, sparks and faith and preparation combined. The road been right here all this time, but you gotta look with more than your eyes. And the small axe Jesse Ryle representing for I Just Star Mindset, rich forever.
Me I tell you, mindset.
Yes, it is how we feel. And I'm only when 10,000 repatriation. Black liberation. Yes, it is a weekend, and I'm only when 10,000 Yes, it is a weekend, and I'm only when 10,000 repatriation. Black liberation. Yes, it is a weeping, and a mourning when 10,000 Yes, it is a weeping, and a mourning when 10,000 repatriation. Black liberation. Yes, it is a weeping, and a mourning when 10,000 Yes, what a weeping, and a mourning when 10,000 repatriation. Black liberation. Yes, it is a weeping, and a mourning when 10,000 Yes, it is a weeping, and a mourning when 10,000 repatriation. said I wonder where the white boy them no play, and I want to know my heart. Hot fire burn them up, fire burn them up, burn them up the Ethiopia land. Hot fire burn them up, fire burn them up, fire burn them up the Ethiopia land. Me say fi go away, Babylonia. Me say fi go away, Babylonia. Babylon, you must get a big sugar land. Babylon, you must get a big sugar thunder. Babylon, you must get a big sugar earthquake. When the sky Babylon, you must get a big Babylon, you must. Babylon must get a big I said I wonder where the white boy them not away, and I want ya know I said I wonder where the white boy them not away, and I want ya know. Hot fire burn them up, fire burn them up, fire burn them up the Ethiopia land. Hot fire burn them up, fire burn them up, fire burn them up the Ethiopia land. Me say fi go away, Babylonia. Me say fi go away, Babylonia. Babylon, you must get a big. Babylon, you must get a big sugar yonder. Babylon must get a big sugar I said I wonder where the white boy them no away. I said I wonder where hot fire burn them up, fire burn them up, fire burn them up the Ethiopia land. Hot fire burn them up, fire burn them up, fire burn them up the Ethiopia land. Me say fi go away, Babylonia. Me say fi go away, Babylonia. Babylon, you must get a big. Babylon must get a big. Babylon. Earthquake is fine. Babylon, you must get a big. Babylon must get a big. Babylon. Earthquake. say fix away. Babylon.
Me I tell you, mindset. Me I tell you, mindset. Me I tell you, mindset.
Go with the flow, ride with the tide, roll with the punches. Just keep your head up high. These are my times, bad times, sad times. But hold your head up high.
In this year world, the man them wicked and vile. They possess some dirty habits that is far from worthwhile. Push and down mentality, them rugged and wild. Listen to the progeny, I give you advice. Dash your dirty living, you turn off your bad mind. Time is no my brother, beg you get up and grind. With the beef and let us have a meeting of the minds. Unity is strength and we have mountains left to climb, yeah. Nothing now one, nothing now one. The thugs them on the butter, the thing with grease palm. Don't you play a hero and go run up in a can. And you'll get a fat chat if you ever infam. Nothing now one, still 100 gun land. Coming for your money, yeah, you're about to be earned. Breads from the progeny, I beg you keep calm. Still as send me on a major mission that is necessary. See them bragging in them outfits, the real cannot be out with. Don't care what makes this is my commentary.
Go with the flow, ride with the tide, roll with the punches. Just keep your head up high. These are my times, bad times, sad times. But hold your head up high.
In this year world, the man them wicked and vile. They possess some dirty habits that is far from worthwhile. Push and down mentality, them rugged and wild. Listen to the progeny, I give you advice. Dash your dirty living, you turn off your bad mind. Time is no my brother, beg you get up and grind. With the beef and let us have a meeting of the minds. Unity is strength and we have mountains left to climb, yeah. Nothing now one, nothing now one. The thugs them on the butter, the thing with grease palm. Don't you play a hero and go run up in a can. And you'll get a fat chat if you ever infam. Nothing now one, still 100 grand. Coming for your money,
in tune
yeah,
to the
you're about to be
mindset.
earned.
Let the
Rest from
action
the progeny, I
speak.
beg
Do
you
something
keep
that's
calm.
timeless. Rock the man, crack them, Jabari.
Still as you send me
I just start.
on a major mission that is necessary. See them bragging in them outfits, the real cannot be out with. Don't care who I vex, this is my commentary. Therefore I never present with them sodomy. But nowadays, that's ordinary. Enough now leave the love, but them I preach and sing. In a them I very unsanitary. That tune a legendary. This is what we need. This is what we need.
These are my times, bad times, sad times. These are my times, bad times, sad times.
Living in a world where the sisters are tired. Men can't do us a favor, sex is always required. Stay no reputation, so our presence denied. We cannot face the pressure, so we're left to divide. Them can't see the difference in the mother and child.
Go with the flow, ride with the tide, roll with the punches.
Me I tell you,
Just
mindset.
keep your head up high. These are my times, bad times, sad times. But hold your head up high.
In this year world, the man them wicked and vile. They possess some dirty habits that is far from worthwhile. Push and down mentality, them rugged and wild. Listen to the progeny, I give you advice. Dash your dirty living, you turn off your bad mind. Time is no my brother, beg you get up and grind. With the beef and let us have a meeting of the minds. Unity is strength and we have mountains left to climb, yeah. Nothing now one, nothing now one. The thugs them on the butter, the thing with grease palm. Don't you play a hero and go run up in a can. And you'll get a fat chat if you ever infam. Nothing now one, still 100 gun land. Coming for your money, yeah, you're about to be earned. Breads from the progeny, I beg you keep calm. Still as you send me on a major mission that is necessary. See them bragging in them outfits, the real cannot be out with. Don't care who I vex, this is my commentary. Therefore I never present with them sodomy. But nowadays, that's ordinary. Enough now leave the love, but them I preach and sing. In a them are very unsanitary. That tune a legendary. This is what we need.
sisters are tired. Men can't do us a favor, sex is always required. Stay no reputation, so our presence denied. We cannot face the pressure, so we're left to divide. Them can't see the difference in the mother and child. Anything is fed onto the innocent mind. Can't say and no and make them feel slide. All them do when them see with them go pack up and hide. It's no game, half a look a hype and half a ride off no fame. When I was asked to join the team, I tell them no plane. Just see the way them live and hear the things they're saying. I know them all in it, just a profit of his name. Drew us around the world and open all the gateways. No reggae make it way onto main stage. Many see the road to music as a freeway, and no never make it out of the ras race. Oh, what a disgrace. Now some are corners and them are downers, yeah. Oh, what a disgrace. Now some are swaggerers and them are hot cross boys.
If the track hit, who the cap fit, I got target.
Fire, baby.
But anywhere me go, judge a follow me. All of me family, them watch over me. Anywhere me step and touch the road with me. Stick with Jack, don't be caught up in wrongdoing. Don't be misguided from the goals you are pursuing. Whoa,
These are my times, bad times, sad times. These are my times, bad times, sad times. These are my
Of diverse humanity, speaking diverse mockery of blasphemy, vanity, abstract and seen in the
mindset.
humanity, speaking diverse mockery of blasphemy, vanity, abstract and seen in the manipulation policy. Answer the image of the physical, they dismiss entirely. Woolman is your image and positively charged. Silk against a body is negation large. Out of my temperature, light the chant of a barrage. The unseen manifest is your image come across, yeah. Manifold guru and commercial philosophy. Couple dollars a hit to tell you what events of your life are be. Highly I see RASTAFARI is the ancient of mystery. Alignment of the attributes under Judah pole starry. 23 ecliptic truth like 23D. Cosmic chop particles, RASTAFARI come chant free. The human body have been a dwelling place for diverse of entity. Because of the simple ignorance of knowing how to eat correctly. Consume fast food, fortune 500 concept of consume could still be more clear for all to see. Your eyes have an appetite and that is sometimes slack. Can eat everything inside to infinity with no hold back. Your mouth eat and stomach is quickly full, but the appetite of ears could hold more than the ocean full. Consumption of physical matter and consumption and the astral ether manipulated to enrich them occult vampire. Simple modern technological device was just an obscure thought until the seed of a fire shaped the idea material into tangibility has to be sold and bought. Even the programming lineup is shaped to people's late night fears and needs. They know exactly what is to put before you, the exact moment of something you're going through. To feed the greed, all the ratio and legitimization paper is to track and feed. Hey, let it lead, let it. Cement, yeah, or economics tie-in. There's a product for every one of your feelings, massage and cream. There's a product for every one of your cover-up cosmetic dream. There's a product for everyone masculine, weak, feminine, deficit. Sitting, conference room, emanation, birds of prey. Hovering in, listening in, bully from school day. When no one invite you as a friend visiting. Numerous intelligence, world exclusion, admittance sitting. Let live, let it live. you say. Yo, you will surely fail. I think I'm far grounded by a lot. Even to the point is good, where the mind defeated the road. Who feed it and know where we did? We want to know Rastafari is the furthest future. Yeah, my royal breed.
The man a bugle me out time about time after the boy just a real youth. A real Rasta youth. General in the thing you better know.
It's all about what you do, not what you say. Love your life, read and pray. Whoa, yeah. It's all about what you do, not what you say. Yo, you will surely fade away. You wanna learn, come on outside. Don't be afraid, yo, don't be shy. Rastafari is the almighty I. Don't that's why. Hey, bonify, don't you hear the youths them cry? It's all about what you do, not what you say. You love your life and pray every day. It's all about what you do, not what you say. Babylon a burn down today. In this life we live, yo, you got to think positive. Yo, love your brother and forgive. Hey, oh. Pressure bus pipe telling you now. Stop me, I'm the pig and stop me, I'm cow. Yo, be on your side, the Rasta man, you better bow. Oh, yeah. It's all about what you do, not what you say. Yo, you will surely fade away. It's all about what you do. Yeah, ma make them know no pressure. That's what you say. Not what you say. Yo, then pressure. Them words say one thing and them action another. Living this life of a imposter. Them words say one thing and them action another. When you get to you, them have to kill each other. Them words say one thing and them action another. Living this life of an imposter. Them words say one thing and them action another. When you get to you, yo, then Babylon your heart and your mind and your soul. You got to uplift the life that one in the black woman womb is the greatest gift. The knowledge and wisdom, yo, it come from my split. And every time I take away from candy out the bun when them shades in the present of my enemies still I prepare a table. So don't keep Babylon, you better move and stable. You pay me for your job and take it back here rent and table. So your judgment for triple, no giggle. The life that you live, learn to forgive. Things that you do, he'll be coming at you.
Me I tell you, mindset.
Little people don't hear this now. Stop Nyam funeral and stop Koto. Humble to matters what the teachers how you do and not what you say somehow. Regarding the truth we always get run wrong. Somehow regarding how the youth turn out. Trueness to do what you be right away. Thunder and lightning out the mortal day. Speech in the deed, teach the Rastafari way. Root in the deed, not in the what you say. What you say. All about what you do. That's what you say. Johnny made a way. It's all about what you do.
I was born in a system that doesn't give a fuck about you, nor me, nor the life. I forget, keep my guns. You never know, just in case things get free. That's just the way I live. Yeah, that's me, yeah, as is. Don't misbehaving, don't take it slide. Behave yourself when you're making it right. Don't be a victim of things things I do to survive. Because I won't wishing you any good, you Babylonians. Disrespect coming out their mouth. Whoa, now you get me mad, I shove it down your throat. You know I bet Babylon we ain't got nothing in common. I'm the son of Solomon. Telling me lies ain't gon' get you nowhere. Now you turn aside to your idol God and see. Now you gon' swear. Damn, you can stutter, but I seal my lips. You can suffer, yo. When I get rich, you can touch them full, but not this. If you're this, then you're dead. Whoa, motherfuckers, go ahead. Because while we're blind, the pump your fucking head full of lead, yeah. That's the way I live, yeah. That's me as is. I was born in a corrupt system. It doesn't give a fuck about you, nor me, nor the life of our lovely kids. I keep my gun out and I'm not when things get free. That's just how I live. That's me, yeah, as is. In pharmacy, the spot back gun. What gun? Could do my shotgun. Last fool, spot that gun, drop down. Yo. I was born in a corrupt system. It doesn't give a fuck about you, nor me, nor the life of our lovely kids. I keep my gun out and I'm not when things get free. That's just how I live. That's me,
yeah. Rock them and crack them. You're in tune to the mindset. Let the action speak. Do something that's timeless. Rock them and crack them. Jabari representing. I just started to confirm.
Well, when keep the fire burning, wicked man around on a ball. Yo, yo. Whirlwind keep the fire burning, blow away the wicked like chaff, yeah. Whirlwind keep the fire burning, Babylon a crumble and fall, yeah, yo. Whirlwind keep the fire burning, repatriation Rasta man a chant. None of them no really up front, the whole of them are backstabbers. Can't tell me in a criminal, much less no robbers. Things of them cultural, me bomb them up cause them a slackers. All of them come here so hackers. Yawa yo, them no yam vegetable, them run gun yam, them big trackers. Punch them in them face, me kick them up with my trackers. Them go make the gun, them make the lead and the clappers. Gunshot a bust, you think a clappers. None of them, nah wall no mess, me said them nah wall no sabbat. Beer vanity, them come a grab at. Stand up in the sun, make it burn you till you blacker. Call down there, burn the hypocritical maker. What you know? Whirlwind keep the fire burning, Babylon a run on a ball. Yo, yo, whirlwind keep the fire burning, blow away the wicked like chaff. Whirlwind keep the fire burning, wicked man a run on a ball. Yo, yo, whirlwind keep the fire burning. Selassie is higher than I soft. Read it in the prophecy. Biblically, Rastafari is God Almighty. Oh yeah, boy, burn them hypocrisy. Now ya bingy come and burn them democracy. Oh yeah. Keep eyes and keep the iris, yeah. Every man in your fire, you light it, yeah. Speak the truth no matter if them like it, yeah. Righteousness, them a go fight it. This is our culture and we'll never dare despite it, yeah. Publicity and a vice it, yeah. Whirlwind keep the fire burning, Babylon a crumble and fall, yeah, yeah. Whirlwind keep the fire burning, blow over the wicked like chaff, yeah. Whirlwind keep the fire burning, judge upon him throne and attack, yo, yo. Whirlwind keep the fire burning, yo. Inna the heavens, Rasta sit up and a laugh, yeah. Jamaica Prime Minister, make sure you are here, yo. This is your fire inna your face, yeah. Say your police and your soldiers in the area. We are born ready for your touch the Rasta man area. Yes, promotion to go in the ghetto. Listen.
This is the black family. I love black people with the best of my health. Yeah, and go and tell the people learn to love themselves. Yeah, I love the people with the best of my health. You must love the youth, them as how you love yourself. Remember this. I said the wicked now go prosper cause they know not to love. I. None of them no love Selassie just to get to youths alone. Aye, Selassie leave it high. The wicked now go prosper cause they know not love. I. None of them no love Selassie just a black woman alone. Send a shower of rain, King Rasta. Let black people know there's no stress nor strain. Put a fire again, pan Pharaoh. Not until him free the shackles and chain ya. It gets so serious now. They won't know until tomorrow when them see I know yowsa. I got to hail you now. When the fire start burn, do no row, we no bow now. I said the wicked now go prosper cause they know not to love. I. None of them no love Selassie just to get to youths alone. Ay. Open up your eyes, the wicked now go prosper cause they know not to love. I. None of them no love Selassie just to get to youths alone. Ay. Be loving with black people, cause Rastafari show them righteousness, yeah. The pagans study so much evil, the way I finally hide, they always forget. I tell you, keep doing what you're doing, never stop, but from you know what's righteousness. I take the youth from the filthiness. Who was he who sit up in the wilderness? The Rastaman said, the wicked now go prosper cause they know not to love. I. None of them no love Selassie just to get to youths alone. Emmanuel the high priest for I. The wicked now go prosper cause they know not to love. I say, none of them no love Selassie.
Children of the Most High, blessed with the Most High. Children of the Most High. Children of the Most High, blessed with the Most High. Children of the Most High. Some crook want steal your joy. Fair tactics were in flight. Oh, why you wasting your time with negative thoughts in mind? Thinking about committing crime, not thinking about the outcome. It's there to see you smile. Watching you walk, hoping to see you falling. Cannot see that I'm sinking.
Me I tell you, mindset.
Judgment on hands. Stand firm. Children of the Most High, blessed with the Most High. Children of the Most High, Most High. Children of the Most High, blessed with the Most High. Children of the Most High. Over preoccupied. Can't get no time for Most High, blessed with the Most High. Children of the Most High, Most High. Children of the Most High, blessed with the Most High. Children of the Most High. Children of the Most High, blessed with the Most High. Children of the Most High, Most High. Children of the Most High, blessed with the Most High. Children of the Most High, Most High. Children of the Most High, Most High. Children of the Most High. Children of the Most being observant of our lives are unfolding. When certain things do not work out, it is for a reason. If times try to take another route and next door will open. Wrath of the gods outpoured with rightful conviction. The lion only speaking out for our best interest. It make no sense to doubt every words you'll notice. It's true. It's true, Jah know what's better. It's true, Jah know what's better for I and I.
Rock them and crack them. You're in tune to the mindset. Let the action speak. Do something that's timeless. Rock them and crack them. Jabari representing I Just Star. You can fall.
Star, a real youth, a real Rasta youth. General, another thing you better know.
only getting stronger, stronger. You're not weak, no, that's not true. You're stronger than you know. Access willpower. The load that you carry heavy. Now I just find the strength to carry. You made it through the toughest tragedy. When I see you, courage, wisdom, I see. I look at you going through. Only getting stronger, stronger. You're not weak, no, that's not true. You're stronger than you know. Access willpower. You did what seemed impossible to do, even when you thought you won't be able to. The kind of things that you have endured. You are strong and someone that I admire. I look at you going through. Only getting stronger, stronger. You're not weak, no, that's not you. You're stronger than you know. Access willpower.
Me I tell you, mindset, mindset.
You're an inspiration. I can see you in my meditation.
Me I tell you,
An
mindset,
inspiration.
mindset.
Holy Ghost, I shine calling on. You're an inspiration. Oh, you won't give up the fight, you conquer it. An inspiration. Even the heavens and the earth notice them. Stronger by the grace of Jah. Stronger by the grace of Most High Jah. Stronger by the grace of Jah.
Burning desire, natural acoustics, African identity, trigger boost vibes.
This kind of love I'm feeling, oh, it's a burning for you. When you gonna come to my world to quench this fire? It's burning. Woman, you turn me to iron. I've been watching you from a distance, girl. You got my eye and I can pretend. Girl, I hope it's not a return for the rest of my life. With you, I wanna be with. Only you, I wanna be with, girl. I wanna be with. Black woman living in my residence. My heart's good and accept negligence. We love, we show, and that evidence. Rastafari provide all that we need. So me hear me say, we can't live without your love, baby girl.
Me I tell you,
we can't live without your
mindset,
love.
mindset.
Me can't let you go, let you go, let you go. It's a burning desire. Me can't let you go, let you go, let you go. It's a burning desire.
Me can't let you go, let you go, let you go. It's a burning desire. Me can't let you go, let you go, let you go. It's a burning, burning. I've been watching you from a distance, girl. You got my eye and I can pretend, girl. I hope it's not a dirty for the rest of my life, which you I wanna be with. Only you, I wanna be with, girl. Only you, I wanna be with. I said this kind of love I'm feeling, oh, it's a burning for you. So when you gonna come to my world to quench this fire, it's burning. Woman, you turn it on.
And I'm falling for you. I find myself calling for you into the dark. I followed you. I should know this ain't the time I go through. Send me away, 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 send me away. I feel you, I feel you, I feel you, I feel you, ABC. You take me up and down and I follow you like ABC. You act like you with it, but you ain't never here with me. I wish it could be, I wish it could be like ABC.
She asked me, Junior, do you like it when I cry? Huh? Do you consider my feelings when you lie? Huh? You put me second to something on the side? What? You just gon' let her ride or die inside? Damn, you forget I was with you before the racks came, before these skanks came, before the plaques came, before you started getting money and your racks changed. I was with you when you were still thinking about changing your rap name. Say something now. Are you joking? Baby, I'm sorry. Are you joking?
When I tell you that I love you, know I mean it. Jah puts a blessing on we union and him seal it. You know you have my heart and I can feel it. My king, only you can give me the proper healing. This loving that we have, it got me feeling like I'm in heaven, Lord. I think I might be dreaming. So please don't wake me up from what I'm feeling. Got me floating and there ain't no ceiling. Higher. I'm all for you. You see I true. You see right through. Oh baby, you higher, 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 higher than the mountain plain. Burning like fire, 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 like an ever burning flame. Yeah, bye bye.
distracted. My only desire is for you to be comforted.
Me I tell you,
Set to my heart,
mindset.
Attention if you make.
The man a bugle me out and about and that's the boy just a real youth. A real Rasta youth. Generally not the thing you better know.
Love is my reality. I'll never be distracted. My only desire is for you to be comforted. Set to my heart, no place for trial and error. Attention if you make me pay, won't cost a dollar. So do we have a done deal?
Mindset family.
Have a done deal, baby. Yeah.
Do we have a done deal?
Goodness gracious, call me.
Pleasant good evening.
Call me when you're lonely, baby.
Oh, me talk about good evening. Good morning.
Matters of the heart.
Well, at least it's good evening some part of the world still.
One man's try.
Or good morning.
The man's treasure. Don't be
Or good night.
love me so. Woman, all I feel is only.
One welcome mindset program. I just start in the buildings in.
Man, do we have a done deal? Do we have a done deal, babe?
Good to see everyone here.
Woman, goodness.
And all who passed through already. And who for pass through.
Call me when you're lonely, baby. Yeah.
Sounds of Jamali.
Call me
Done deal.
when you're lonely.
So if you call him, you know, when you're lonely, you know.
It's a done deal.
Done deal.
Woman, won't you call me? Say no matter what I want, promise to keep holding strong. No one likes heartaches and pain.
May I tell ya?
I'm slowly learning to trust again, my friend.
Sure.
I done deal.
Watch that.
Do we have a done deal, baby? Yeah. Come on, goodness gracious, call me.
Call me. Hey, Jamal, yeah, actually she call him, you know, and he will go on when she call him. He will go on when she call him.
The saga and the sangre, it must continue. Cycle of life proceed to flow. We chanting forward, never backward, never. The battle hotter, but the victory will be sweeter. What seems to be a
Wow. Empress Redman. Empress Hot.
The saga and the sangre, it must continue. Cycle of life proceed to flow. We chanting forward, never backward, never.
Forward, she are defending her.
The victory will be sweeter. What seemed to be a disappointment is a blessing.
Me I tell ya.
And closing another one up.
Me I tell ya.
Is a way, wheresoever there is your will. One door closing and
Now that one open.
according to a man's work, that is always reward is regardless what nobody think, regardless what nobody say, and that is just the way it is, regardless of what is said.
Me I tell ya. Sounds like Desiree. We are going to the reasoning soon. After that song, a matter of fact,
The saga and the sangre, it must continue. Cycle of life proceed to
think we play enough music.
flow.
Yeah, they must satisfy by now.
Appointment is a blessing. One option closing and
Another one open.
there is a way. Wheresoever there is your will. One door closing and
Another one open.
according to a man's work, that is always reward is regardless what nobody
Straight.
regardless what nobody say, and that is just the way it is. Regardless who one disagree and get vexed, no one give to Jack his jacket and be us to covet. We know how low they can go to put another life in limbo.
We know
how low they can go.
Below zero shallow.
Snaking and slithering and sneaking like creeping, crawling to put back against the wall and provoking progress to stalling from
Yo, the Empress full of lyrics, man. I tell her. She has said some real serious thing, you know. Hey, we have to take on the time and listen, alright?
Saga and the sangre, it must continue. Cycle of life proceed to flow. We chanting forward, never backward, never.
Forward we are chant, not backward.
We will be sweeter. What seemed to be a disappointment is a blessing.
You see it?
Closing another one open.
Yeah.
There is a way, wheresoever there is Yahweh.
Not sure.
We're closing another one open.
Alright, let's go.
According to a man's work, that is always reward is regardless what nobody think, regardless what nobody say, and that is just the way it is. Regardless who one disagree and get vexed, no one give to Jack his jacket and be us to covet. We know how low they can go to put another life in limbo. We know how low they can go. Below zero shallow. Snaking and slithering and sneaking like creeping, crawling to put back against the wall and provoking progress to stalling down zero, hitting rock bottom, bungalow trying to get in, slow to put life in limbo. Who's your bless no one cause you can't stop the flow. No weapon formed against us, but we can't stop things, no. What is to be is gonna be, you can't stop that now. Return to send up bad energy, can't stop things, no. So who's your bless no one cause you can't stop the flow. No weapon formed against us, but we can't stop things, no. What is to be is gonna be, you can't stop that now. Return to send up bad energy, can't stop things, no. Bad intention, bad minded, wish bad for you.
May I tell you?
Never mind, say more fire.
More fire.
Forward, never backward, never. The battle hotter, but the
Fire, baby.
So Adam, Fredman, Adam, creating matter, yeah. Prophecy, your prophet manifesting, yeah, no matter what. Lies are temporary, truth is forever, no matter what.
Straight.
Rise on his enemies, scatter, no matter what. We know how low they can go to put another life in limbo.
We know.
How low they can go. Below zero shallow.
May I tell her?
You shall bless no one cause you can't stop the flow. No weapon formed against us, but we can't stop things, no. What is to be is gonna be, you can't stop that now. Return to send up bad energy, can't stop things, no. So who shall bless no one cause you can't stop the flow. No weapon formed against us, but we can't stop things, no. What is to be is gonna be, you can't stop that now. Return to send up bad energy, can't stop things, no.
Return to sender. Bad energy. Can't stop the thing, you know. Yeah. Some want to greet the item in the divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Kidamawi, Haile Selassie I the First, Empress Menen the First, Holy Emmanuel I, King Selassie I Jah, Rastafari. Yeah, man, beautiful to be here. As you know, one more day above ground. And we're giving thanks and praise for our ultimate position. You know, nothing no greater in life, you know. No matter what I go on. See it? Nothing no greater in life. So we give thanks for that. Because that's our greatest position, life. You see me? Yeah, man. So we have to just make the best of our life. And that is just the reality. You know? Can't go around it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Take control of your life and, you know, live your best life. Yeah. 'Cause life is for the living, you know. Yeah, life is for the living. So while you're living, you know, don't just give your life to a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Live your life, you know. Take some time for your life, you know. Yeah, man, and live your best life. Now is the time. So, you know, give thanks and praise for I Father and Mother of creation, you know. Giver and keeper of life. Yeah, man, give thanks for King Alpha and Queen Omega, beginning without end, first without last. Yeah, give thanks for life. See? So, we there have to look on a thing in the evening here. We there have to look on a whole lot of thing at the Mindset program today. And it's not Wednesday anymore still, but we did start Wednesday. You see me? We're in Thursday now. In the UK, yeah. Yeah. Thursday morning. You see? Just 17 or quarter past 12 in the morning here. So yeah, we give thanks another day above ground. That is you know, great. Yeah, man, and I hope the item is feeling great and doing great, you know. Yeah. 'Cause it's great to be here. You know what I mean? A whole lot of people not there with today, you know. That was here yesterday. And they're not here today. So we give thanks to all of who that is here today. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So manners and respect, you know, to everyone where there in the chat room also. I interact. See, more love, more strength. Give thanks. More strength. You know. And yeah, manners and respect to all of the silent listeners also. Yeah, man. Good for you have the item here. Please push the like button. Would appreciate of that. Pushing the like button. You know, getting the algorithm to do its thing. You know, while we're here reasoning. You know, so push the like button and the algorithm will do the rest. You know? Yeah, man. And so while we're there upon earth, you know, doing our best, you know, Heavenly Father and Mother in Zion will do the rest. Yeah. So, yeah, man, give thanks. Give thanks for pushing that like button. It's important. Alright. Yeah, so we're there to look on I think Burna Boy said I think sometime recently, sometime last week I think. Saying, and it create you know, it create a little, I don't know, bad feelings. Probably if the Virgin never did say nothing, I guess. Yeah, but we they have to look on that. As the item can see, the title of the thing, Burna Boy Backlash. You know, I see some Virgin in America. You see me? And before me even said that, you know, I see a thing in the chat room. Burna Boy should should choose his words with more accuracy. We as Jamaicans shouldn't join in with African versus American people. Well, I guess you need to speak for yourself as a Jamaican. Yes, I might have a Jamaican nationality, because I was born there, but in truth and in fact, I'm a Ethiopian African. You know what I mean? Yeah, first and foremost, before me even became any Jamaican. You see me? Lori, bless up yourself, Honorable Empress, Orlando, Florida. Yeah, man, manners and respect. Yeah, so, you know, we don't know. You have to speak for yourself when it comes to that, you know. I and I are African, you see me I say. What is happening now, a lot of our brothers and sisters in the Americas, and when I say Americas, I'm talking about also Jamaica and other Caribbean island also, Zin and America, right? North America, Central America, South America. You have a lot of people are going around and they're saying that they're aboriginals. See? And I think that is one of the problem. That is a major problem, because it still show black people in a light that black people still don't know themselves. That is what I'm getting from all of that. Black people still do not know themselves. Some of the black people in America, and as I say America, I'm talking about Jamaica, Trinidad, and all the rest of Caribbean islands also. I'm not just talking specifically America or the USA, but yes, there so as well. It's not excluded, it's included. See? Now, because of that narrative that is going around, see, that narrative that is circulating, and you have some are pushing it, and they're pushing it, and a whole part of young youth are buying into it. And you have famous people, you have famous even rappers in America, who identify themselves to be Aboriginal, and they're indigenous to America. They are indigenous to America. I don't know if that is some rivalry between the black Americans and white Americans. I don't know if some form of rift there, because the white man come there, the black man know that him not indigenous to there. But him still own the place like him indigenous to there. The black man now, I feel like him I don't know, him probably I say him indigenous because him want that right also, what the white man have. You see me? So the whole Aboriginal thing kind of, caught a lot of people. Caught a lot of people. Because when you have mainstream rappers and them endorse this thing, then you know. You see me? Then you know, say, boy, this thing is being pushed. You see me? It's being pushed. And, youths who follow these mainstream rappers, they're going to be influenced by that, because, that's their lifestyle. Okay, we're going to follow as well, because, fans, them are followers, in it. Them follow most of the time, 90% of the time, they follow these individuals. You see me? So, I don't know how it reached to that understanding that black people, black American is indigenous to the Americas. I just don't I know a certain history that is there, you see me? But at the same time, the history that is there, it still go forward to Africa or go back to Africa then. You see? It still lead back to Africa. The trace or the lineage is African. You see me? All of the history of black people, the Olmec and all of these people over them, side of the Americas there, they are Africans. They left from Africa and went into these places. You see me? Or some people are going to get real technical and talk about Atlantis and, when, everything was together and all of these type of things, so. And I don't know. We know say black people are Africa them come from. You see me? And majority of them were in America. I don't know. America have a lot of history of Jim Crow and lynching and burning and civil rights movements and all of that. So I don't understand how, black Americans would have that narrative circulating. I don't get it. It's mind-boggling. You know what I mean? Because them, over that side there, picking cotton and all of them things there, the coal and, so the history is there. The history is there and all of that is leading up from the transatlantic slave trade. So I don't understand how after being taken from Africa, after 400 and odd years, you become indigenous to this geographical land space. It doesn't work out. I don't know, but it just don't work out for I not overstand it. You see me? Me not overstand it. So that within itself now causing a lot of riff now. You see me? Because some black Americans still don't believe into that. Still don't believe into that narrative there. A lot of black Americans, the majority, I think, that they don't buy into that narrative. You see me? They feel comfortable. Okay. Yeah. Yes, my lord. I and I are there. at the roots. Yeah. From beginning, creation. Yeah, man. So that now when you hear Burna Boy forward and say what you must say, you know, that now I don't even know how that's supposed to how the man them supposed to even say anything about that. I don't get it. What wrong with what the virgin say? I don't see it. I don't see what's wrong. We don't see what wrong with what him say. You see me? We can play what him say, but that, you know, I just don't see why they would, you know, have, you know, an issue with the brother. I just don't get it. What is it? There's something behind it still, you know. But we're gonna look into that a little further on still. What I think is really behind it still. You see me? But when really say, even all of y'all come back and all of y'all apologize and all of them something then. Well, I don't really think him did apologize, but he must address, you know, the backlash. Okay, why my phone is going off like that? Alright, let me see if I can play what him say. We'll just play the audio. Let's play the audio. But I love to show it, but I don't have it on that screen. Alright, let me just play the audio still and hear what I say.
So, I'm here with a man himself, the African giant Burna Boy, and I want to ask you, why is it important that the diaspora come home?
You know why okay, let's use America for example, right? Because we can use anywhere. Yeah. But let's just use America, right? Why do you think the Chinese American, has their respect? And they don't go through the things that African Americans go through. Like, even though they might go through their struggles, I'm not taking anything away from them, but they don't go through what the African American goes through. You know why? Because the Chinese American has a base. He actually knows where he's from in China.
Right. And have support from the Chinese government.
You understand? Like the Italian American.
They have Italy.
They know where their grandparents came from in Italy before. They know the first person in their family to come to America to start that line that made them Italian American. They know. You understand what I'm saying? And same goes for everyone else except the African American. You understand what I'm saying to you? So how can an African American and an Italian American be on the same field when how do I put this in a nice politically correct way?
Well, that's all. I don't really hear nothing wrong in a way him say still. You see me? I don't really hear nothing wrong in a way him say. Can play it again. But I don't really hear nothing wrong in a way him say. I don't see why there's that, you know. I guess there's more to it. You see me? I have the article here so in front of me still, you know what I mean? But I don't really hear nothing wrong in what the virgin say. You know? It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird how they would just, attack the virgin over, something where sound truthful and right. You see me? Yeah, because, American Italian them have them spot and place in a Italy. Just like the Irish them, you know, Irish American them said way in Ireland. It's a reality. You see me? So with African Americans, they should have that spot in Africa also. You see me? Yeah, so you know, when I know. I don't know what the Virgin say wrong. You see me? I don't know what the Virgin say wrong. But you know, I see a whole lot of videos and blogs and whole lot of thing. You know what I mean? So, alright. He noted that Chinese Americans and Italian Americans, for example, have more confidence in dealing with issues in America because of their ties to their heritage. See? At the same time, African Americans tend not to know much about Africa. And even if they came back, they wouldn't know what country their roots are from due to slavery. Why do you think the Chinese American have their respect and don't go through the things that African Americans go through? He said, the Chinese American has a base. He knows he's from China. Italian Americans know where their grandparents came from in Italy. Is it? They know the first person from their family to come to America to start that line. Same goes to everyone else except African American. That is what the Virgin say. Is it? So, what is wrong with what the Virgin say? What is wrong? What is wrong? Me not see no discrepancy in a way I say. What is wrong with what him say? You know, it must be an uproar. If it wasn't, then I wouldn't be even talking about it, to be honest. And a backlash. So what is wrong with what the Virgin say? You know, I hear truth in what the Virgin speak. Eh? No, what is wrong with what he said? What wrong is in what he said? That is what I'm trying to find out. You know what I mean? People can call in if they want, you know, and tell me what, you know what I mean, what I want to feel say him say wrong. You know? The thing is here, I can read it how much time, you know, for the item. You know, I can play the next little piece again. You know, but I not hear nothing wrong in a way I'm say. You see me? I'm not hear nothing wrong. You see me? Where I say, I think where I say African Americans, you know, Africans in the diaspora, See, not necessarily those Americans, they were using them as an example still. You see me? Need to come to Africa. You see me? And start learning, start building. Learning and building, with their African family. I think that is what he was trying to convey. Because you could hear him say him try to say it in a politically correct way, because him already know that if him say it certain way, it go bring a backlash, and even when him try, it still bring a backlash. So me no know, me not hear no wrong in a way him say. I don't hear no wrong in a way him say. You see me? No, I and I, we know what happened in a slavery. You see me? We know that we've been through that. You see me? So that is why I brought up this Aboriginal thing, that you have African Americans are saying they're Aboriginals. That is the reason why I brought that up, You see me? Because that is not true. That is not true. And I know that you have bright people in America, bright black African people. So I don't know why that narrative is being circulated. I don't know. Someone is on hard drugs. Serious. So, but yeah, why that would bring an uproar? Why the Virgin them in America would have an issue with what he's saying or what he said? Why there's an issue? Why they would have an issue with it? That is what I'm trying to work out. Cause what did he say wrong? What did he say wrong? I want to know. All right, let me just play this thing here. Let me just play that song, yeah.
Do you still believe in Nigeria?
I believe in Africa.
Is that far different from Nigeria?
Yes, we have to understand Nigeria is a colonial structure. And when, as Africans, understand what happened to the continent of Africa, then we need to appreciate our history. Why do I always go back there? Because Africans take, for instance, the Trans-Sahara slave trade for granted. We take the Trans-Atlantic slave trade for granted. And when we even talk about this, we blame ourselves. We say we sold ourselves. These are issues that we are taught. That's why I said education is so important. If we don't understand and appreciate what our ancestors went through, where we're having this interview, can you imagine how many souls died during the slave trade? Just been transported from, let's take for instance, somewhere very close like Benin. It's an African. So look, you see, colonialism will teach me. I will have said a slave was caught in Benin. It wasn't a slave. An African, a person, a human being was arrested, or captured, taken by force in Benin, put chains around his neck, tied his feet and hand, little water, no food, and he had to walk from Benin all the way to Badagry before he or she was put, and children were put on a ship and taken to the world where they did not recognize. This happened, not one, not two, not 1,000, not 10,000, millions. They say approximately 100 million people died walking, 100 million, 60 million died in the sea. The wars that were happening, the trauma that happened on this continent, the cries, we cannot, you see. And I always like to use the Jew
Hitler's case as an example. Why are we sympathetic to the Jewish story? Because there is footage. So if you just talk, you can't even crack a bad Jewish joke. You can't even crack a Jewish joke. They will bring you down. That is how Africa must stand. Don't talk about the slave trade to us. Do you know our pain? You can't imagine the cries. When will Africa stand united in this case? When do we take our case to the United Nations as one people, one voice? We want to veto America. How do we do this? When we are divided, when we go with the colonial structures, we'll always talk in multiple voices. And as the Bible says, when you talk in multiple voices, you have no voice. When we talk with one voice, united, we go to United Nations, we pull out. Because then that body is insignificant to what we be, to us as a people. Of what is it to us? If we all say yes and America vetoes us, of what significance is our presence there? So we stand as one people. So we make our voice heard. We start to do things. We make Africa the envy of the world. So then I'll be able to drive my car from Lagos to Johannesburg. We open our borders. Do you know that as a Nigerian, I'm fortunate to have a British, or should I say unfortunate, I don't know which way, to have a British passport. But if I want to go to South Africa, I don't have to go and apply for a South African visa. I just walk into South Africa, they stamp 3 months on my passport. As a Nigerian, I have to queue, and I probably will not get the visa. As an African, as a Nigerian that fought against apartheid, I will not be given a visa to South Africa. But as a British, South Africa opposes its border to me. You see, all this is part of colonialism. To ourselves, we are very wicked. Just go from Lagos to Benin. See what it will cost you to get through that border. Even if your documents are correct, you will hate yourself at the end of the day.
So is this a betrayal of African leadership?
No, this is part of appreciating our history. We have not learned to appreciate ourselves or our history. When you understand 500 years of slavery, you can understand why this is happening. So I will not be one to tell you that I'm going to fight for freedom and it's going to come, I want it in my lifetime. No, I know it's not possible in my lifetime. Do you know how many souls have lost their lives fighting for freedom? Do you know, if Obama is president of America, it's something that nobody could foresee when Martin Luther King was talking about this. But if you thought Obama was going to bring unity into America, then you are a clown. So I'm sure, and if Obama too was thinking it's going to be an easy road, it must have been, it will be a joker, because the fight has just started. A black person probably will never get elected in the next 50 years, but we have seen the possibility. But is that where a black person should be even elected? Where is the African unity? Where is the brotherhood, the sisterhood of Africa? Where is fighting for the envy of Africa? Africa, the great continent. Where is all this? So when you appreciate this history, you understand why corruption is. You understand why we are the way we are. You understand why the fight must continue. You understand why the fight must end. When you understand all this, then you are cooler, you are calmer. You understand that violence is not the answer to this problem. We need more intellectuals. We need to be more tactical. We need to be very diplomatic. We need to be very patient. We need to have virtue on our side. All these things must be in the fighters' weaponry and gallery.
You're almost a new apostle now, if I may say that. But let's just say this. You are vastly read as a father. Was that something in the gene? Or? No,
he made sure when I left school, when he took me out of school, that was one of the other good things he did. He ensured I read. So I came out of school. He now said to give me books on autobiography of Martin Luther King, autobiography of Malcolm X.
At
that age, 16. So I was reading Stolen Legacy, Black Man of the Nile. This book I read about 3 times. Then I went. So every time I was fortunate to travel, I went to any black library. So I was now reading. I became more read than him. So I was known like a professor in his house. And because I had read so much, I could read between the lines, because there are so many books you will read and the author is just trying to tone you to buttress his points, but doesn't mean he's right. So I was that kind of reader that I would read. I said, I read another book and this author is trying to sweet talk me. The facts are not accurate. And he will say, how do I know? So I will now bring books. I said, I read. He said, you read this book too? He said, you are doing a lot of reading, or you are a professor. So everybody now knew that I was just reading and reading. I went spiritual. I was reading the Egyptian Book of the Dead, for instance. I wanted to know about, I was very curious about death. I was very curious that, wow, because at 16, 17, I was very frightful of death. And I was so frightful, and I could not understand my father's bravery. And so I wanted to be brave. So I said to look for research about what if I was killed? What if my father dies? I wanted to know about death. So I just said to read books. And you will not even believe I came first in BK in school self. I wanted information. And the only way I could get that information was by reading. Then after reading, I now stopped reading to now assimilate what I've read, come to my own conclusion, not be biased. So I am not racist. I'm not, even when I talk about Pan-Africanism, I understand that we need the West, we need medicine. We need to understand, we cannot be judgmental and say, yes, Europe came and took us as slaves. But then we must understand, why did Europe take us as slaves? It was a big, massive propaganda by the kings and queens of Europe to come. So they had to brainwash their own people that they are bringing cannibals, pagans, unreligious, monkeys, dirty hooligans from Africa. So they had to brainwash their people. When they said to bring out the Africans, imagine traveling that distance. I said, by the time you arrived Europe, you will look like a cannibal. But African, when we go back into our history, we were living like kings and queens. But by the time the slave trade and all this happened, we did look like cannibals. We did look like unreligious or dirty. We look like animals, period. So they brainwashed their people. But it was them, it was their same people. By the time they now got the bad people in Africa to participate in this slavery, Europe said to wake up to the crimes of humanity. So it was Europe, with the fighters of Africa, of course, that had to stop the slave trade. Africa could not have stopped that slave trade on its own. But then, Europe, it took Europe 500 years to understand, wow, I caught daddy sleeping with that so-called black monkey. That black monkey is pregnant. The mulatto is born. What is going on? Do you know what the torment the European now went through? That, my God, what is this? My father is guilty of crime. It was them that now had to fight their own system to stop the slave trade. And Africa could not have stopped the slave trade without first them realizing they were wrong. So many of them, many Europeans saw the wrong. And then don't forget, they were even having a lot of internal wars, religious wars in Europe, in America, the independence of America. So much was going on. When you understand all this history, you can understand why Africa is the way it is. And then you have to appreciate why we have very, I wouldn't want to say unintelligent people as leaders, but misinformed people as leaders, that we still talk about more states, blah, blah, blah. Instead of moving forward with Kwame Nkrumah's dream, Marcus Garvey's dream, and people like this.
Now,
rock them and crack them. You're in tune to the mindset. Let the action speak. Do something that's timeless. Rock them and crack them. Jabari representing I Just Star. You gone far.
Me I tell you. Mindset.
Rastafari, blessed love. Yes, honorable family. Interesting little reasoning there. Seeing from the son of fellow Kute. Yeah, so say a whole lot of interesting things still. You know, even at the end there about the mulatto children, you know. The white man identify his sin. What a thing. Serious. Yeah, man, we are Africans, man. That are the reality. You see? No matter how ones want try go around it still, You see me? Yeah, man, we are Africans. And you know that's why me have to give honor to Marcus Mosiah Garvey, because you know them man there, you know, had a real vision. You know, have a real tangible vision for, you know, for the Africans in the diaspora and also, you know, Africans on the continent. You know, Marcus' vision was, you know, Africa for the Africans home and abroad. You know, Africans in the diaspora would return back to Africa after coming out of slavery. You know, that was Marcus Garvey's vision, you know, and, you know, Africans in the diaspora would go back to Africa and build it up. You see me? That was the vision. All right. So me have to really honor Marcus, you know, for, you know, have such farsightedness and, you know, clarity still within you know, within his vision. You see it? That you know, we could have still said today that, you know, that is the ultimate move. So whatever Burna Boy say, cause Burna Boy, as we know, is a Nigerian, you see me? Nigerian virgin where has made it big, you know, like a giant, you know, like King Kong. You see me? Yeah, man, really make it big in the music thing. You know, he's very talented. You know, the other day, me I listen a whole CD, you know, Afrobeat CD and thing, and hear the virgin, and me I say, wow, I even sing that song that I never even know say I even sing that song there. You see me? It's a whole song, you know. So them youth they really make it big in Nigeria globally, you know, in America. You know, he's you know, his status right now as a you know, Afrobeat artist, you know, he's the biggest thing right now. He's huge. And you know, the way the man is huge, it would appear like him even bigger than some of the American artists them. That is how huge the man is. And I think that is an issue. I think that might be, you know, joking some ones and ones. You know, that the way the virgin is humongous, you know. Yeah. People are having an issue with it, man. And this virgin all the way from Africa, and you know, he's so big. He's so big, and you know, we are in America and he's bigger than us. He's bigger than us. How is he bigger than us? He's African. We are American. But he's bigger than us. He's from the root. You know what I mean? Just like you're from the root. But the only thing is you're not identifying yourself with the root. And then again, you know, he didn't go into slavery, and that is a big difference also. You see me? And I'm gonna get this thing a plug in. Phone a ring, and I not even give out phone number yet still, but I could take the call.
Greetings.
Blessed love.
Yes, Honorable I just stars
Greetings and salutations,
Majesty, Honorable my lord.
All the man different.
Aye?
True.
Yeah, man, all is well, man. Black and beautiful. You know, give thanks to life.
Oh.
Ultimate position.
I bless give.
And the eye?
Give thanks to life. Pardon me?
And the eye?
Yeah, give thanks to life, said Your Majesty. Just, based on these ongoing narratives, I could say it's disheartening, because I pledge I life to the red, black, and green, the red, gold, and green, and it's a joy, the struggle, with all of the ups and downs, pros and cons, it's a joy. But when, you see the continuous divide within the black people, then we can't come together upon a oneness, it's very disheartening. Whether the Maroons, the Moors, Native Indian, fellow black African, tribalism, universally across the board, my lord, is just divide and confusion. And it has stopped I redemption. It seems like I own black people are worse enemy to judgment, even more than the evil white world.
That is a reality. Yeah, black people is their worst enemy. My lord, that is the reality, You see me? The white people have done what they needed to do. That is already in place. Today we call it the system. And that is running, and it is running perfectly. It's running according to how it's supposed to run, and it is benefiting who it's supposed to benefit. You see me? Now, within all of that, black people take upon themselves knowing them history, because black people know. You think black people can't tell me say them don't know them history, No matter where them are going, where them are going like them dons and are going like, I know that there is enough intelligent and learned black people, even in America, that know their history, but them want to deny. Them want to deny themselves. Zine and talk about things and talk about things like when we sit in the chat room, like there were indigenous black people living in America before. There were black people living in America before the white man. Yes, no one is disputing that, but they weren't indigenous. You have to remove that word. You understand? Because they weren't indigenous, they're African. That is the reality. So watch out now. You see, black people find themselves in a position where them are compete against them one another. Them jealous against them one another. Them bad mind against them one another. Because I feel like it's a little bad mind thing. Why they having a go at Burna Boy. I think because of how big him is as a virgin from Nigeria, him saying what him says shouldn't create that type of energy where you have virgins and sisters in America say, boy, or dare him say, like, mention them thing there. Like, what the man say wrong? Man, I say nothing wrong.
Well, but I would say bad mind can be a part of it, but I wouldn't say it's totally. It's like maybe
no, it's not totally part of it. Yeah.
But the major thing is the man them said they don't identify with come from Africa. So when I wanna go label them and say them the last and them to know themselves and Africa development, them a look with a scornful look like.
Yeah, that's me now say that them know themselves.
Talk about me African, me a Native Indian kind of thing. So me wouldn't say Burna Boy wrong, but Burna Boy is just not up to date with the narratives that's going on in the earth. So that are the only, me won't even say it wrong, but he's just not up to date. So he's coming with an old narrative and a generalized narrative where we used to say Africa, slave trade and that. And him now up to date with the times, you know, say family. As funny and weird as it might seem, not everybody identify with that. And when these things arise, we have to recognize it, address it, respect it, separate from it, and move on. Because we can't make it become the main event or come take up energy out of the push for African unity and the freedom and redemption. Because we have to take it in our cup and drink, you know, say. Freedom, redemption, black reparation, redemption is not a every black people thing. Even though it's supposed to be by individuals opting out. It's just like a one want go Africa and a one say, me don't go Africa, you know. That is a one's freedom for opt out. It is a free will culture, it's a free will consciousness. Why the ones, you know, for the Christ is anointed by the Most High, conscious awakening to a thing. And even if I want no conscious, I want not go to certain things.
Wouldn't advise no one to opt out the meditation of going to Africa, you know, because that's are the ultimate, you know what I mean? That's a wish by you really, you know, feel like, you know, you're a real God in the earth. You know, so I would advise every African within the diaspora to make that decision of going to Africa, even if it's just to visit, even if it's just a holiday of 2 weeks, you know.
And
do that.
Well, me personally, I wouldn't do that, my lord. Personally, I wouldn't do that based on the narrative out there in the earth. Once I see a one stance is hard line within certain things, I would recommend those ones stay with them there. Yeah. I'm not going to take a stance where it's everybody and every black people if you come. If you're not conscious within a pro-Africa, pro-Pan-African meditation, that's going to be a benefit.
Who want to make that? You know, you what me I say? Zane and the eye can't sound like you're the gatekeeper for Africa, you know, my lad. You see me I say? Africa for every black man under the sun, my lad, just like yourself. You know, so some of the time
what may I say is may I give my opinion.
I know
give
that.
Your opinion, so may I give mine for say me wouldn't take the stance where you say and recommend to every black person to do that. Based off of the narratives of Maroons, Moors, Hebrew Israelites, ones who take the stance hardline that is not for Africa. So, in my view, they don't share that African consciousness. So, in general, I would say go to Africa. But once someone's express themselves and say they're not for that, like the Native American, the this, that man, then I exclude them out of that movement and consciousness. I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to try to convince, because to me that is a fundamental basic. And if I don't see it like that, I'm not going to waste a lot of time. Our feelings, sentiments within. No, you're not Native Indian, and how come you don't want to go to Africa? And then we are back and forth, and one's a Russell, and you see the Burna Boy, same thing, we don't see nothing wrong with. And one's are going to take it now, one's are going to apologize for say black people if you go to Africa. So we should say it's having a real impact, just to generalize and say, once we go to Africa. So diplomacy and for freedom of choice and will is going to be no. I don't see. It's just like when Marcus Garvey, we just mentioned Marcus Garvey, see the reality in the Africa Chad. And we said no good Negroes enough to come to Africa. And additional to that, come to take our black people to Africa. Because when him said that, it's just a reality within the people them mind. When him said that Marcus now left out, nobody would have want to go to Africa. But he knows that there's people against that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Man. So in up to date, in look for no conflict. He's
My lad, but watch here.
the part.
The I saying that, you know, Zane, the I also have to remember that in America, right, where Marcus was and doing his thing very, very prevalently, yeah, is the same black Americans that bring down Marcus Garvey, you know, along with the white supremacy, you know. Is them same one sabotage Marcus Garvey. Who was the Boys? The Boys was a black American. Was probably what?
Yeah, and he ended up go to Ghana and ended up dying in Ghana.
Well, him probably did deserve that judgment because him prevent Marcus Garvey from reaching there. And him would have been better off, Marcus would have been better off there than him. Him one of the bad Negroes that Marcus was talking about that didn't deserve to go there.
Yes, I would learn from history within even Marcus's experience. Marcus, there's readings where a lot of the groups them now come up was around during Marcus time, you know? And Marcus written to say, him tell him UNIA, not the black people in general, but him tell the UNIA members to say, stay away from those people. And a lot of those groups even convert some of the UNIA members them, especially when Marcus Garvey get deported. Some members of them take right out of the Garvey movement, them take come be part of the movement. Like it became like a competition for the mind of black people and where they're headed and where they're gonna go. So the stance I would take, my lad, is the more straightforward. Sometimes Pan-African movement is pushing. I become a little bit stagnant now, even within the Rastafari people is Pan-Africans. But I have to focus. We have to be aware, but more.
When I say I and I, what do you mean? Who you attack when I say I and I?
No, I and I as Rastafari.
So that's Rastafari they are deal with.
Not what I deal with, but within the context of what I say Rastafari, you could even broaden it to the Pan-African.
Yeah.
Basically, ones who make themselves known and express what it is about, and it's basically Africa. So we can broaden the I and I to include Rastafari, conscious black African people, Pan-African, those who identify. I would even say descendants of the transatlantic slave trade as well. If you know, say ones who identify, if you say, yes, that are me, I claim that history. Because if I and I not claim an identity, we're not going to have no identity. That's why the Native American want them to claim for them identity. Maroons are claimed for them. So everybody have to claim their identity.
Wait there. Who are the Native Americans?
Those ones who classify themselves as that are the America.
My lad, come on, man. Talk the thing properly. I know you know better than that. Talk the thing properly. Them is not the Native Americans, my lad. Yeah, I know that. I typed the thing earlier in the chat room. The Native Americans are the Native Indians them. Zine. So
yeah, but they're
whether
they
you say
call themselves that.
whether some black people want to bring that confusion in, that are the confusion where we are trying to clear up. You see me I say? It's not for say boy, leave them, make them this and that and where. Alright, yeah. Make them stay, but at the same time we have to clear up the confusion and make ones know that is not the right thing, that is not so, that is wrong.
Yeah, but there is no confusion.
There is a confusion, man. There is a confusion.
No, it's confusion to who don't know. Because
there's
not going to be any...
Of course, so if the youth them a come up and they don't know and they have these narratives flying around, all around, and they take on to it, a wrong narrative that, because the youth...
No, but my God, it's like there's good and bad in the world. You can't stop bad. If you good, you have to talk you're good, and who want to cling to the good, cling to the good. There's two narratives nowadays of black people who call themselves Native Indian. You can't stop that. I can't stop that. All we can do is talk what we know as right or truth, and who gravitate to that, gravitate to that.
You know, that may I say right now, you know. When may I say right now, Zane, that narrative is wrong. So me have to talk the truth.
No, but I agree. But I also accept the knowledge and the wisdom to know so people feel free to decide what they want, even if it is still wrong.
Hey, my lad. I like how you said that. You know. So that is the same thing, you know. Because you see them same people that jump and a shout, I say them are native are them indigenous black people in America. Them said one tomorrow I go get up and say them want to come to Africa and them are African, you know. Watch later on. Watch later on. Them same one.
Some, I would agree. Some. It's just like W.E. Du Bois with a fight against Marcus and he made up a Ghana said we can go to Africa. And end up dead on Africa.
All right.
So it's just a tolerance and bearing with them. But for the greater good, in the sense of to make peace reign. Because me see one span line and different things with the man them flagrant within their thing, my lord. No different from the Hebrew Israelite, them have New York chapters, them man them pretty much attack everybody, them not black, them are not African. Even when me hear about incident in Ghana there with Hebrew Israelite, I was kind of surprised because I was like, Hebrew Israelite in Africa? Even though I see myself as Hebrew Israelite as Rasta. But when there's specific chapters of one claiming Hebrew Israelite in Africa, I was surprised because there's video with ones in a New York pan road and attack black people and I say, oh, we're not those Hamites black, we're not them a troll diet and there's so much different rhetoric. So I was even surprised and say, oh, Hebrew Israelite in Africa, okay. I think Israel and it want to go with the Zionists them. So, you know, there's bare narratives, but I know there's black. So I will, you know, have a tolerance and see what I want. Maybe one day, them if them wake up, them are African by blood and birth. So if them feel they want to come, I feel them right. But at the same time, as a watch lion for Africa, I'm mindful of these kind of narrative and attitude. Because as a Rastafari vanguard, I burn out them kind of mind state if you come in to pollute the already divided Africa amongst tribe and tribalism. So that's why I would prefer even those ones hand with them there. Because the black race is big and broad. I'm not going to really lose no night's sleep over ones calling themselves Native Indian. Them have to go duke it out with the white people. Because I would like to ask them, firstly, they don't claim to them a Native Indian. And they would lend to what we say, black Native Indian, meaning Negro. And if they would say yes to that, I would have to ask, where did the black race originate? Since they're indigenous to America. Because you only can have one starting place, you know. So if they would claim, say they are black, and they're not Africans, you know, weird, because where did black people originate? Africa we originate, or we originate in the Americas? Because if them are going to claim black, Native Indian, black, or this, that, and them say them indigenous, which is like to originate from a place. So when they not consider Africa, say we never originate to Africa, leave from America, go Africa, or we did have two places of origin, which wouldn't make no sense in the creation scheme, because we know so we start from one place and we spread out. So which race them claim? Are they claiming Mongolide or Mongolide mixed with Negro sort of thing? I don't know. You know? And even if they don't claim, let's say, indigenous, the movement of Rastafari and the Black Liberation Movement, it is a black people movement, black people redemption, irrespective of them want to go home to Africa or not. Africa is the central home for I and I. So if them now want to go home to that, them should not still advocate I and I getting a justice as descendants of the transatlantic slave trade diasporans. I and I returning to my continent. And all of the things that will help to uplift.
I pray the
I and I as black people regardless.
What I see is happening right now. What I see is happening, and I've been paying close attention. I don't say anything yet. I don't think it's the right time to really say anything. But I see the agitation in America towards reparation. Zin, and I think repatriation is probably within that also, and I think it's about to pull off. Zin, but it's only for black Americans. That is the agitation. I don't see it's agitating for the rest of Africans within the diaspora still. You see me I say? So, we are watch still and I observe. You see me? And that would be a good thing if that come to, because then that would be a step in the right direction. You see me I say? Which would open up the doors now for everyone. You see me? So, let's see what I go on still.
Yeah, but it help open up the door, but them would want to cast a shadow over certain other pre-existing movement, and that like with that kind of conjure Native American attitude. Within Jamaica, you have it with the Aboriginal so-called Jamaicans and the Maroons. They want to pick up a same narrative, like that the attitude and mind frame data rub off upon Jamaicans. So it is a great divide and great separation, which is natural, and I welcome that, because even though we're black, we know so there's various type of black people and ethnic group, we're not the same. So that is only a natural. I don't really see it as per se something that is as much negative, but it is a reality, and it's just a come down to bump now where it get expressed. And we just have to live and learn, absorb it and take it, and stand where we stand and do the right thing. Them claim say them want reparation is just the Americans. That makes sense, because reparations is based off a jurisdiction for which European specific country would enslave ones, So that makes sense. Britain, Spain, in some of the case, Dutch, Portuguese, South America, different specific white nation countries, it's slave specific black people. So that makes sense in another way. But with America's concerning now, it is a mixed multitude in America, because even before the British, it was Spanish that did colonize Americas, or even a part of it. And also you had France as well, that was in Americas. And then it came the British, we can dominate. And within that dynamic of various black people, and every black people claim Native American. There's somewhere acknowledge their African ancestry, and there's the Native American blacks, them deny the transatlantic slave trade and say it wasn't so and certain other thing. While there's some Americans who claim and identify as descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. So while it sounds away, it just going to push ones to be more educated and knowledgeable about themselves, because it's going to be a part of the identity if you know who them is. Past, present, or future, know where them from, know where they're going. So that is the positive we want to get from these things, where ones know really have to go check themselves, really stand up for what them are dealing with and identify with themselves. Because say you don't have, I bet you, some of those same Native American, to say black. And I bet say them celebrate the first president, black president, though it was a mulatto half-breed president. It wasn't really a first black president, unless you're going to say biracial black. But if you don't check the reparation stance, Barack Obama wouldn't be dude for reparations within that sense of American. And even him as the first black president, I must say that's why he wasn't really for it, the reparations. Because his father is from Kenya. So his father is not an American in that sense. And then his mother is a white woman. So even Barack Obama wouldn't come under that umbrella for no reparations because he wouldn't fit within that identity if he get reparations. Because your father never part of the transatlantic slave trade and your mother a white woman. So there's a whole lot of different paradigms and dynamic in regards to identity with the justice being issued and how it have to go. But the main overall general mood I say is black people, whether they say them are native Indian, black African, black and so forth, my lord. Them is seeking justice and I put more side to say justice from the evil white world, which we are doing justice from the evil white world.
I think Barack Obama only proved Marcus Garvey point that Marcus Garvey was trying to convey when he said that integration, you know, it will not work for black man in the West, you know, or anywhere else, you know. So I think Obama does prove Marcus Garvey point, you know what I mean? Because him never choose to do anything in terms of liberation for the black people, in terms of redemption, in terms of repatriation and reparation and compensation. He was in the right position as a so-called black man. See, because people classify him as being the first black man to be president in America. See, now he didn't do anything. Whether he want to not classify or classify or whatever, him was classified as a black man in America, the first black American president. That is what he was. You see me? So with all that power, he didn't do anything to liberate the black title that he held. He didn't do anything to liberate the black people of America, even the black people of the world. We saw he went into Libya in Africa, North Africa, and dropped bombs there. And as I say, his dad is from Kenya and he's dropping bombs in Libya. So, and then he wants to legalize a lot of things that African people don't agree with. As you can see what is happening in Uganda today. Obama didn't do anything and he was in the right position. That is all I'm saying. He didn't do one jack.
Yeah, and that is, I would say that is a result. Part of it is to do with his identity.
Yeah.
Because he really did identify the misnomer of black wasn't right. While black is a biracial black, so now if you put on the suffix as black in front of mulatto or biracial, but he wasn't just a straight out black, as his mother is plain out white woman.
He's colored.
Yeah, and I would lend to that. His coming into office, it wasn't a Marcus Garvey freedom redemption, even though they didn't grant him like a human rights kind of award sort of thing.
Nobel Peace Prize. Human rights. He was more
coming from a civil rights, civil liberty, which is national and domestic within America. NAACP. So I would look upon theme presidency as a form of affirmative action, which is affirmative action is a tokenism to say try put in a look of black representation to make them feel all right. So that's how I see Barack Obama presidency was an affirmative action tokenism to black to quell certain things and make them feel included. And also to help push certain narrative like what I push now, that anti-African narrative and more to say them have something of benefit to get within America. We can do it now, we can achieve, forget race and nationalism, black nationalism and them thing there. We are one now, no matter if you're black or you're white, we are American. So it's pushing American patriotism. Because I even just put in the comment section there to say, the Native Indian, them American, so-called black, them, they're defending America. Are they defending North America? Are they defending Central America? Are they defending South America and the entire Americas? Are they just defending the United States of America? You know, because if they said they were black and here, wouldn't they be everywhere as well first? North America, Central America, South America. To me, it just seems like the United States of America them a defend.
Yeah, man,
So,
that is it. That is what them are defend. That is exactly it. United States of America.
Yeah, so
that is it.
I would see that as a personal hang up with America.
Yep.
After the years after slavery, Jim Crow and them come now and them fight, and them have the rap music, then them have the biracial black president, and they benefit off of the prominence where the evil white world, white supremacy set up. Because if you lend it to them now, they would say like, we did it, but they don't do it on their own. America is leading now because they use black people, but white people organize up Negroes and use them and set that. European whites come to America and set that to make America have that prominence in the world, how it have it. And they reap the benefits of that being Americans. And in some ways it seems like that gone to many of them head. Because even when I would see certain video, I see some of them in a real life and they travel. Big red, white, and blue America shirt, go around and I'm American, like they want to tell you, make you know, say, yo, you're American, you know, like first world man in the place, you know, you're American. Even within black destinations, they just come and me as a black person, or if a person inquire, they say, me American. They might make you know, like say, you better treat me different. Me a special, me American. I'm the best, I'm the leading. So there's a big ego will come with this American thing. And even though the black Negroes them get abused and oppressed in America till today and I get killed out in the streets by police and the system, they still have a patriotic attitude to their abusive bastard or their abusive stepfather, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam have become the American Negro's stepfather. And they've learned to love Uncle Sam.
Yes, so Uncle Sam become the man them stepfather. Not easy, you know?
Yeah, and they're ready to defend Uncle Sam to the fullness. Because once again, is it North America, Central, mainland of United States and South America? Or is it the United Corporate States of America, Confederacy them a defend? And it's plain out to see that it is the United States of America, my lord. So within that now, it is that specific system of America what them used to, where it seems like now they have stake within the United States.
Yeah, man.
So them no want to leg off of that. Them no want to leg off of that. Them want to take it like, we don't want America to fall, you know. We just want to creep off the white people off it. We still want the Parliament building, Statue of Liberty. It don't come like Planet of the Apes. And I use the apes as a derogatory. But it don't come like the Planet of the Apes movie where, well, look now, the ape them take over the blood cleat place. See them Statue of Liberty, everything. But when they look at the monkey and them are the police, or the monkey, them are the president. Same kind of thing, my lord. So it's not I and I as Rastafari have born Babylon and the fall of the evil white supremacy system that is America. You know? No, it's we still want America go on, you know. We just want paint it black. And the man them go as far as even painting the star-spangled banner. I don't know if you've seen that flag where it's red, black, and green, but they paint the American flag in a red, black, and green. And I call it RBG. Same American flag, you know, but instead of red, white, and blue, a red, black, and green. And these kind of notions. So there's so much different dynamics, my lord. We're just weird Americans. Big up to my black American brothers and sisters who say Africa conscious, connect with their history and some of their scholars from a long time, like Brother Runku and Henry Clark and, you know, what's his name there? Yeah, various ones, my lord, where Africa them say. Whether them they get to reach there or not, Africa them say. Malcolm X is all about African unity, even though he was pushing a pro-strength within America to be mobilized within America. But he never deny a black thing. So even if them are going to take them stance, that is something I'd still like them to do. Don't be against a black African narrative. If you don't want to take one yourself and so it's not about that, do that. But don't come try deny ones from their black African narrative. Because of that we say, and we're not going to let go off of that.
Straight. Right, that's it then, my lord.
Yeah. Because we are seeking justice from different race. It's going to be a tough sell to get it from other race if we don't even want to have it for ourselves. Take the spectacle to feel it first. It's just like when I say Africa, I'm glad I dip on the phone to make this. Born African nations owe I as diaspora and descendants of the transatlantic slave trade reparations as well. And I see the reparations would have to be, because we not look for no money per se like that, but arable land where I can settle. And that's why you have these local land issues and these things, because we come in on a tourism marketing year of return vibe, and it's a catch-22 because it's more for money. It's not so much to redeem the situation and appease the ancestors to what did happen. So it's adding insult to injury. You know? His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie is the only one who wants to do the right thing and put forward a settlement land there with Shashamani. So I can take. He never put no bag of clause in it, say you have to this or that. You know, you have to join with the local chief then and come build up your house in a 2 year. Bring back liquor, 2 buckle of Hennessy and these things. Most of these settlements that I've seen within West Africa is along those lines. And sometimes even it's the said Afro-American them come in from early, them create a synergy with the local chiefs, and it's a plan to say, all right, so more Africans want come here, you know. You have a land as big chief and the land today and they don't do nothing. Grant I the land, I will go look the people and then come. And so now we develop and we put in certain clauses and requirements. We basically come in, you get a land, you sign up for it, this, that, but then you have to build, you have to do this or that. And various stipulations, my lord, where I read and see that is not really of good taste to me. So within that now is like a buy freedom thing versus a from the heart. The only thing that maybe you can say from the heart is the apology. But apology is not far enough. I and I's ancestors, descendants coming home our land. And we know say before we did left, whether we did a this tribe or that, we did must have land in Africa. So if we're going to come in, provide us with arable land where we can settle. If we want lease, make we lease for we ancestral land where we can inherit back when we come to Africa. Not chiefs and Africans sit down and feed them and exploit I and I with lease and these things and these stipulations. We were basically powerless and left with no defense, especially if a system is corrupt within land ownership and these things, my lord. The government supposed to create a protection for say I and I not supposed to be molested and these things. And the transition, we are going to transition into Africa. Set aside land. The Honorable Jerry Rawlings, he's the first one to come up with the kind of year return narrative. And that is years before the current government and the previous government have gone a president. And when I read the article about where Jerry Rawlings proposed, because when him turned into the presidency as a soldier did to take over, it was something to help stimulate the economy of Ghana with tourism as when he proposed that year of return. But when him looking at it, him say, the tourism of ones just come in and visit and spend our money. It wasn't really much of that good taste or enough. Because once ones come, ones are going to stay, where them are going to stay, what them are going to do. And the one had a genuine heart, because the one looking to himself and say, hey, we as Africans were there, we not know bag of money. Africa, even though it's a wealthy place, is known as poverty in the lines of US dollar and these modern day monetary systems are lacking. But where we're full of land as far as the eye can see, wagga, wagga, wagga. So what Jerry Rollins proposes, along with the year return, tourism and come on soon ancestry, the man did present a vibe feel like a land settlement thing. And the land settlement, it wasn't a chief owner land and you come and lease it from him. It is ancestral land for no say. We want a legacy for leave and can take root for few ancestors. We want to know say few stakeholder in Africa is not no 50-year stakeholder or no 100-year lease stakeholder. We're coming back represent we ancestors from 500 plus years of being away off of the continent. And we say that we are brothers and sisters. So we now come back for just be more tourist kind of attitude or foreign national investor car. When we come and invest with a lease, Chinese man can't do that. Indian man can't do that. White man can't do that. That is not exclusive or special to we as descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. You're not doing us no favor there. Give us something that is unique to the situation as brothers and sisters and what we face. Set aside settlement lands where we get to inherit and take as ancestral land. That means that is for life, our children life, for generations to come. And we manage that how we see fit. No different from the Ashanti them in the north. We have them region and you know say Ashanti that. And them get for lack for them land. They lease it to other people if they want. And after 50 years, Ashanti still have their land. So that will always be the Ashanti land. That will always be the Ga people them land. Always be the Akan people them land. So we want a land that will always be the Pan-African, the Rastafarian, or the diasporan land. If we decide we want to lease it temporarily, make we have the option there. But that's so we need to come in within all of Africa, these kind of designated lands, and that's so we can appease the ancestor them, my lord. And that is a fair deal, because we're not just some foreigners coming. We're saying that we are blood brothers and sisters. And these kind of attitude will lend back to the American, them a claim Native Indian and say them different, you know, because if you go check treatment, no for the African them not treat I and I like brothers and sisters. Easily said than done. And when me I say that, me not talk about the African them in the day-to-day life where you might meet or so, because you know them more innocent. We are talking about the heads of government and state that is aware, especially on these chiefs. We have the power, we can do changes. You're supposed to come and provide reparations, not money, but land. You know, say, yo, when brother and sister come, see Funa region, this one, or Funa that, you know. Because if I and I, mother or father have piece of land, let's say Jamaica or somewhere, my lord, and I have 5 brothers or whatnot, I mean, make a journey. This lend back to like the Joseph vibes in the scripture, with Joseph with him technicolor coat, when brother them sell him into bondage into Egypt. Same way I and I, the descendants is like a Joseph. I and I come in now, no matter how long or that. We're also not going to claim, say we are brother, we not apologize, we acknowledge something to do wrong and sell we. And we are come home now. We don't do nothing for appease the thing the right way, man. If we are blood brother and we are African too, give it for a piece of land. We get take away in a slavery, so whenever they get we can lock for the land, we can say a few of this, we couldn't get lease kind of thing to it. So give me back that opportunity to take root on the land. See the land there where them just get in at the Cape Coast and whatever the situation may be within the legal contract and clauses of that agreement where them have. Africans come there where them a Hebrew Israelite or not to try to take root. And the place where them set up based on where them come in 1999 and the amount of African we make the journey so far, you could have say that place is a historical place to know. Enough African come back to Africa for the first one might be good if you go get a smoothie go there to go get a health checkup on certain things and get to know the place there, my lad.
Yeah, man.
And okay, there's a clause within the land. Make the people them take you over then if you not run, right? Or there's a breach in the contract. But for bulldoze right down, that come like once a try put a root in the ground and man just chop up your roots to say, where you take root? When you bulldoze done that now, that is a history psychological damage. Because that history if you know say, yo, the first local place me did go and come Africa, you know. I first local place where me see me people gather, you know. Even if it did take over and the place still erected, you could have say, you see that building there? It used to be a juice place, like me did come on my first day. But when the building demolished now, it come like it never did be there to begin with. When you look upon the Judgment Bar Cape Coast, what you're known for? Slaves Judgment Bar Rattenbelly Castle for 19 along with Dutch and Portuguese go make. Make the man them not get bulldozer and go bulldozer done them Judgment Bar Rattenbelly Castle they far with. It become a historical site now. Once of a PR if you go in if you go look upon where two ancestors go through and all kind of thing. So it come like the slave castle them take root in West Africa. Cause it's still there. You never see when the man them get independence, they say, yo, I'm going to bulldoze out there in Judgment Bar slave castle, yeah.
Yeah, well, but here what me now? Me see in England, yeah, them decide to lick down one statue, and the statue was of a virgin where was involved in the slave trade up in Bristol there somewhere. And from that one statue that them take down, a whole statue about the place here and elsewhere around the world get taken down because of that one move there. Why?
Yes.
Because them virgin that involved in a slave trade. Even the virgin there in a Belgium, what the boy the name
King Leopold.
Zane, even film statue them did have to take down that. You see me I say? Because I think people set fire to that. You see it?
Yes.
So if them think they are take down, then you have to lick down all of the slave dungeons and so-called castles in Africa to said way. That have to go on. Can't make money.
Yeah, but
you can't make. If you make money off of them things, then the money they're supposed to go towards development for Africans in the diaspora coming back home because that is a monumental mark that the transatlantic slave trade did take place. You see me I say? So the money that go towards Africans in the diaspora, you have to set up house and set up things with them money there because a whole of money I make off of them thing there. African Americans to said way I come home and I go home I go visit Elmina Castle and Cape Cold Castle and
I have to pay my
and I pay and money I make. So
I have a video on it on my channel. Even the man them I get a cheaper price as local born Ghanaians. Me have a video where me make panel when me put on my channel when me videotape me going to the castles. And me have to raise hell. From start to finish, me raise hell in that judgment ball for my ancestors them to hear, my lad. Cause when you look here, say local Ghanaians have a cheaper rate where them pay. And then if you're not from there, born Ghanaians they pay a different rate. And it's like, okay, but what is the rate? Said rate where white, China, everybody else a play. So they know have a look of intimate vibe and empathy within I and I as diaspora and say where we go through, my lad. And it's all about us. Your return is all about us. Them slave castle days is all about us. I totally agree with what you say with some of them money they're supposed to set forward for some development of I and at least even the poor and have nothing in Ghana. And at least a percentage, even if not everything, a fair percentage towards black coming home to Africa should have set aside when it pertaining to those slave castles. If not that, demolish that judgment ball. I understand say it's a historical site and it's not a must say it demolish. But if them the long-standing wicked place can do them, my lord, and I the descendants coming forward, and the little meager step we make, but we need more steps to make root and take root. And when you look that I get dig up for one reason or not, you're not developing enough, you're not really. I don't know the full details, so I can't speculate too much. But things that get dig up and shift up. And this lease thing, yeah, I am not a fan of this lease thing. I acquire land in Ghana now for, you can say almost about a year now, you know? And even help some ones and ones try to acquire land to doing the due diligence the proper way to try to avoid certain litigation. But I find, and this lease thing, it never rests good with me, my lord, because I'm like, yeah, come on, my land. Where is the provision set forward for I and I? I see them have different settlement where they set up, and like I said before, it seems like it's schemes to capitalize off of I and I come in said way. Because you do your business on people all up in night. You get a land, all kind of different, local, different one, even some of the diaspora and them, then all up in night, for near my money and fight. You build erect a house or something, locals, foreign, all up in night. Every local transaction ones were all over your business, my lord, to capitalize and name off for your thing. And it's like a hole in your hand vibe, like, allow me make me free up, worse me spend that money. Me spend that now, allow me with me things. Not this ongoing hole in hand or come up back with the next thing. This lease thing never rests good with me. And it's a compromise. A compromise, because Black Star Movement myself, me stand for the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade coming in with a practical approach, my lord. And I just throwing out the numbers or that. But these are the kind of things that agitate for Africa. Say, you know, petition the government on these things and make it be aware. Pan-African, conscious black, Rastafari, and for know them say, oh, we give thanks for the apology and things we're not doing, but it's not enough. It's far from enough. And the major thing that make the difference is land. The land is what give a peace of mind for know, so when we stand up somewhere, we're safe. You know, make sense? We come to Africa and we come now, we feel like the place where we turn up is in question. Because we don't lack that. Time ago come where ones get old and then pass on. We want a place we can bury with dead. Once we pass on, and we know say, when you look now, them bone now go dig up. You know, go here say, yeah, we want to build a hotel, you say, you know. So you see that's how you bury your people, them at the lease land and the lease up. So right now, we want to dig up them bone, they make room for some big hotel, 5-star. We don't want that. Those are some of the issues that present itself when a temporary lease agreement is set up. When we go age or whatnot, we live out free life, we are right. 50 years gone. Sometimes you hear one promise you, don't worry man, no Ghana, we not do this or that. I have to tell a brethren, say, my brethren, the promise not turn up in a court in a brethren. A paperwork turn up in a court. So I don't want to hear about don't worry, I promise. I go on with the lease land, but I'm not for a lease land. Nothing wrong with lease land in our country, you know, but it's not right for that be the only option we have as diasporans. We want the ancestral settlements, regions or whatnot, and any additional land is the law of the land. Where we can go lease if we want to lease. If we don't want to lease, we still all right because we know so we have an ancestral land. We want the ancestral land in addition to lease. You don't have to take with the lease. Because foreigners that is not African come in, them to get lease under their judgment. But I know that is brothers and sisters, we want with permanent installation. Because when we come to Africa, is we connect back with the people, with blood, and with root, which is the land. Because people without a land to call their own is a people like their spirit. When I lease a land, that not really give me no full ownership sentiment, make me feel grounded in myself. Me not no power if me talk hard, a man say, you run off your mouth, you know, just see a little 50-year lease you have. If that go to the courts, I think the courts, them have chiefs and that is going to look at me with no form of power or nothing like that too tough. Maybe you get a look of it, but that is a temporary 50-year one. And some of those lease agreements is subject to clauses, like we are hearing at that land in a Cape Coast where a man say 24 payment plan, these different things. We don't want none of that when it come to this real appease with ancestors to create the real healing, my lord. That, I think, would mend the relationship between I and I as African abroad and at home. When the man them really give you a good gesture. Here a turn is not enough a good judgment but gesture. That, in my opinion, is a tourism scheme. And it could say once can come on tour and look for Africa and get a introduction to Africa is great. But what about the long term? What about the long term? I and I come here to be a permanent installation. And it's not just for my lifespan and more my mortality. It's for my children, indefinite. Because you have the Ashanti today. The Ashanti them is new generation. The golden stool Ashanti and them one they from before. Them dead out. And them generation come and take them ancestral land and turn chief and that and run it. Same with the Ghana, all the tribe them. But when I and I come in as diaspora now, once my 50 year up now, me dead and me gone, I hate that. What is going to be for my children when I leave on? Them have to go renegotiate back. And when you develop on the land now, you get higher price because say, oh, house the on the land now, road the on the land. You have to go give me more money enough to renew. And it's like you do the development, I know the local African them. Or even worse than that, sorry, me not even want to renew the lease. Yeah, me like the things them when you build upon that, you know. So right now, if 50 year up, go on. Because me want to come take what you make. Those things are not fair. Those are options for foreigner that is non-black and ones who consciously go into those such agreement because they want to. Because once again, we could have the ancestral land and we still go lease other land on top of it for commercial purposes. At least we have 50 years to go plant food or build a hotel or whatnot. But we want something that is stationary. We know say a few with that. I know local African don't have no talk. Once we get that, they want it by government seal, royal seal, agreed by all of the chief, them to say indefinite. It doesn't matter if one government change to a next government change. Because say Kofi Ado there, him push off the year return. What gonna happen when him out of government? It's not everyone of the African them like the idea of year return or certain attention they put to certain things. New government can come, my land, and put in different policy and change up things. So we don't want to look at temporary government idea thing and temporary government that. We want something to transcend whichever government come. It don't matter if I this I want that one, if I want a Kuma, a Kwame, or a Kofi, or whoever. It's sign and seal now, we can't change. If you know, say this is ancestral diaspora and land, and I feel with that indefinite. And nobody no go molest. No bulldozer in, no scheme, no other African panel land. You know? No have no right over that other than I and I that is the custodian and owner of that land as ancestral. And we set up we own governance for that land and we govern it ourselves. Irrespectively, we have the law of the land with Ghana, we know say all of that is in play. You know, don't kill nobody, no thief, no that jurisdiction is still in play. But when it comes terms of the land, we want to be like the Ashanti. We want to be like the Ga. We want to be like the judgment by Jewish Zionists, then we get Israeli land. Where we can claim and have rights over our own thing. We don't come here so we be no local children like we don't know the value of things and like we can't govern ourselves. And that way, as for black brothers and sisters, for half a man, because this back to Africa thing is real. So we need to take the steps to make it real. We don't want no sentimental value, sentimental value, and tokenism. And so far, that is what? It's better than nothing still. It's better than nothing. But we want more than that. We need more than that. You know? And like I say, we need Africa, and Africa need we. That's one I and I slogan said we too. I and I need Africa, and Africa need we, my lord. Because just one black family.
Rastafari. Yes, I. Yes, my lord. Give thanks.
Yeah, man. Africans unite, you know. Black people unite, said we, you know. Who don't want to go to Africa? Black people unite. No matter if you're on the American continent, Caribbean, you don't want to go home, that is up to you. It is a conscious decision to connect back with your roots and go Africa. That is a, Native American, you still say you're black, right? So you're still supposed to agitate for what is good for the rest of the black race, regardless. Africa unites now, make I and I will say Africa and Pan-African unite on a deeper level. Because we are going to be pan the land and we are going to live and co-inhabit and take back root. So there's room for everybody, there's room for every notion. It's just a minor adjustments and keep it moving.
Most natural, my lord. Major adjustment and keeping it moving. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
major, minor, adjustments nonetheless. Give thanks.
Yes, Bobo, so, man, 2 o'clock on the dot, you gotta keep it moving. Give thanks to the I call still, my lord. The I can
man,
call
give
again.
thanks to the royal, my lord.
You feel necessary, Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Manuel Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, Empress Menen, Black Strength and Power. Blessed.
Yes, Empress Menen the first. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Yes, honorable family. Yeah, man, do give thanks again for the giving of thanks. Yes, so who did that talk about again? We are talking about Burna Boy, right? Yeah, and the backlash. A whole lot of things said from the honorable prophet. Yeah, but we did a look on Burna Boy. How long was that? 3 hours. Wow. Look like at the show. Rasta 4 minutes to 3 hours. Yeah. So let's see, Yes, I am. So we talk the number in the chat room. I don't know if no one wants to call in, but I try to find out still what Burna Boy said wrong, why there's even a backlash still. Because when I analyze the whole thing, nothing of the sort, I see people, getting up in arms and, getting up in feelings. I don't see it. In all honesty, but I guess the patriots, the American patriots, them are defend it, I say, how dare you come from Nigeria and talk about slavery when you yourself were selling slaves and catching. Yeah, me hear some Rasta. me hear some Rasta say them something, Some Rasta in America. Yeah, some American Rasta. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, some American Rasta. I saw them thing there. It's a bit weird still, if you ask me. I don't even want to get entangled with you don't want to get entangled with all of that. As I say, I don't see anything wrong with what the Virgin say. The Virgin make him statement and I think him even apologized. Let me even read what he said. I don't think it's an apology. I think he just address the whole crowd. Let me just read it. Sorry I didn't bring it on the screen. But no, I can't bring it on the screen right now. I could. Just bear with me and I'll bring it on the screen. Alright, I'm not gonna bother bring it on the screen. Too much time. Let me just read it. He make a tweet and the tweet said, I quote, "It's sad to see that in 2023 there are still such black people who would prefer we stay divided and conquered. Maybe it's my account or something, but I never said you are African and not American." Laughing emoji. I also did not say Africa is part of heaven. You deserve all the land and repatriation you want from America, and I'm 100% in support of that. Pardon me, people, please. Pardon me. No, this is funny. Anyway. Alright, what I'm saying? I am in 100% support of that. All I have ever done is try to make you understand that you have Africa too that loves you, and I believe coming together as brothers and sisters, coming together as brothers and sisters is the only way forward for us black people worldwide. You work against the progress of our people worldwide if your goal is to keep us divided. End of quote. That is what he reacted and said, Burna Boy, to to the people who did call him down. You see me? I don't see anything wrong with that also. It's rather funny. You know? I don't know why I did that laugh halfway through the thing, but yeah, most some other joke. But yeah, I not see nothing wrong with what he said firstly and also afterwards. You see me? Like, I don't know. I don't know why the people would just eat out on Burna like that, when he's doing big things. I think he's also booked for the UEFA Champions League to play there. Wow. The man really had do some big things. I think he was also probably at the Super Bowl and all of them, something like that. Yeah? Yeah, the Virgin had do some real giant work. And I don't know, people might be looking at him saying, boy, hey, this African virgin here clean up everything, you know, man. Him not leave nothing for we. Yo. He just come over here taking all the things, man. Nigga, man, thinking we the man a clean up. Yeah, the virgin a clean up. So I don't know if there's some farmer feelings along them lines there still. You see me? Why them would just bomb rush him like that. You know, when he's doing some good music, and then I guess he's a likable brother. You know. So, the virgin does say something that I think would be beneficial. That you would like to know that Africa is there for you too, and Africa loves you too. That is all the virgin was trying to convey. So, just calm down, man, and, yeah. Who want to reach Africa, reach Africa. As the virgin said, Africa is there, Africa is there also. So, yeah. Work with it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Life. Yeah, man. Life, Life are the greatest. So we give thanks to life. I don't think we're going to really carry the program any further. Then I think, yeah. I think enough has been said here. Zane. Yeah, man. Tomorrow or today is the next day. We're still there on a Thursday here. Early Thursday morning. It's just gonna after 2 here in the UK. So I think we're gonna bring the program to a close, right here. And I'm sorry to be abrupt, but I want to thank the item same way to taking the time, and being so patient and, attentive. Give thanks to the item, presence, it's most appreciated of, it's not taken for granted, or it's not taken lightly. I really appreciate of the item. Taking the time whenever time I am on forward on the platform here. The item turn up. So, we give thanks to the item making that effort all the time, Really appreciate of that. Yeah, man. So, all night guidance to the item, manners and respect, and peace and love, and, just take care of the item self, and we're there upon the rebound. Alright, so, Holy Emmanuel I, King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari, yeah, man, cut and clear gins and snare, pollution the atmosphere. Most High, Jehovah, Jah, Rastafari, Empress Meninai, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
Thousands of years, humans have been searching, studying the plants around us, working to create herbal healing solutions, blended with the best from Mother Nature, a gateway to healing and a better life. This is the answer. For thousands of years, humans have been searching, studying the plants around us, working to create herbal healing solutions, blended with the best from Mother Nature, a gateway to healing and a better life. This is the answer.
That's about to see you on the next video. Start the mindset. Smash that subscribe. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset. Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset. Smash that subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just start the mindset.